Okay, here's another installment of the comic book collection. It's more Iron Man. Iron Man 203. And this is when Madame Masque and Bethany Cabe end up switching bodies. I think I might have mentioned this in the last video. They switch bodies, and this is pretty much just continuing that storyline. Not incredibly special, but not bad either. Then it's Iron Man 204, and this is pretty much when he gets settled. And I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed with this, because I thought, since they're finishing up a storyline, I thought it would be a little better than the way it ended, but I was a little disappointed because there wasn't much action in it, and it just ended so anticlimactically. So, yeah. And this is Iron Man 205, him versus MODOK. And see, this cover is a little deceiving because it's not really MODOK, because MODOK was pretty much considered brain dead at this point, and it was just pretty much an outside controller controlling him. But still, it's a pretty solid issue. It's not too horrible, not great, but it's a pretty solid issue. He ends up kicking MODOK's ass, or MODOK controlled ass. And this is Iron Man 206. Him versus, I can't remember this guy's name. There we go, Goliath. It's pretty much him. He fights this big Goliath guy, and he pretty much protects Hawkeye and his wife right there from him pretty much killing him. And he comes up with a pretty lame idea that he puts an adamantium cage on on Hawkeye to protect him while he rescues Jim Rhodes. It's such a lame idea, and Goliath ends up throwing it in the ocean, so that was pretty hilarious. This is Iron Man 207, and this is pretty much continuing AIM. AIM pretty much thinks to take over some really small island nation, and they pretty much rig a satellite that destroys a bunch of people, and they end up seizing control of this entire nation. So that's Iron Man 207. This is Iron Man 208, and this is pretty much the former deposed dictator of that nation shooting missiles at Washington, and Iron Man pretty much is racist to stop him. That's pretty much the gist of this issue. Again, nothing special here. And that's an issue of Batman and Robin that I picked up. But anyway, this is Iron Man 209, and this is, if you read Iron Man 150, there's when he went back in time with Doctor Doom, which was, I would recommend getting that and Iron Man 149, because that's really good. But this right here, young lady right there, is Morgan Le Fay, and this is who Doctor Doom went back in time to learn the magic arts from, I guess. And she pretty much takes over someone's body, and it's a pretty solid issue. And the next one is Iron Man 210, and this has to deal with Iron Man and his two friends, Happy and Pepper. Happy and Pepper. Yeah, it's not a bad issue either. It's pretty good. Pretty much an AIM agent infiltrates Happy Hogan as a fighter. He asks Tony for money. He find out he's an AIM agent seeking to sabotage Iron Man and the whole Tony Stark's new company. Happy ends up getting his ass kicked, and Pepper ends up getting angry, and pretty much, for more or less, Tony Stark decides to stay out of her life. This is Iron Man 211, and this is him versus disposed villain that he disposed of called Laser. And he pretty much separated Laser from his body somehow in the previous issue that I don't have, and he's pretty much a living form of energy. And the good thing I like about this issue is that Jim Rhodes gets back into the Iron Man armor, not this one, that's not Jim Rhodes, that's Tony Stark, but Jim Rhodes gets into the gold and red old Iron Man armor and hopes Tony Stark fights the guy. So that's a pretty cool thing in this issue. This is Iron Man 412. This is a 25th anniversary issue, as you can see. Many of these, there's a bunch of covers like Spider-Man on here, there's an X-Men one, X-Factor one. This issue, again, is not entirely special. It has to do with this old washout former superhero named Dominic Fortune, and it pretty much deals with that. And he fights Ironmonger again, so that's pretty solid. And this is, right here, his son Dominic Fortune, and he ends up dying, by the way, spoiler alert. He ends up dying. It's a pretty solid issue because he goes and helps free his father, and it's just one really, you just have to read the next issue, but it's a pretty solid issue. Iron Man kicks butt, this guy helps kicks butt, everyone's happy. And this one is Iron Man 214. Now this one is pretty much, as you can see, it stars Spider-Woman, the new one, Julia Carpenter, and pretty much she's on the run. She's become a fugitive for helping the Avengers break out of I can't remember what it's called, but like of a prison, and which is against government orders, and so she becomes a fugitive, and Iron Man's over there helping her find off some of the bounty hunters. Again, a pretty solid issue, nothing incredibly special, but solid. And the whole storyline with Julia Carpenter is pretty touching, and it's heartwarming and touching, but at the same time it sucks to be in her position. But anyway, this has been another comic book collection. Again, another one going to be posted up with more Iron Man. So yeah, thanks for watching, whoever watches.